I know most of you will probably skip this video because it's not some flashy NAM workflow lighting up like a Christmas tree every time a guru triggers it. But here's the truth. This might be the most important video you'll ever watch if you actually want to build a business. You can be the best AI expert in the world. You can build the most complicated automations, the most advanced workflows. But if you don't understand basic business concepts, you'll never scale past $5,000, maybe even $10,000 a month if you're lucky. And that's if you even make it that far. Here's the part that no guru will tell you because it doesn't sell courses or get clicks. The people who win long term aren't the ones with the fanciest dashboards or the wildest workflows. They're the ones who know how to control their frequency, how to slow down, stay clear headed, and only focus on what moves the needle. That's what separates the people who grow from one who burns out. Not another tool, not another hack, but clarity, focus, and operating at the right frequency. When your mind is running at a hyper-stimulated frequency, focus becomes impossible. You're not building, you're bouncing from one YouTube video to the next, comparing yourself to gurus, convincing yourself you're missing the one thing they know that you don't. And here's what happens when you stay in that state. You convince yourself you need to master 100 tools before you can even start. You spin up 5, 6, 7 offers because you're afraid of missing out on the right one. You chase every new hack, telling yourself this is finally the secret. But the truth, that's not momentum, that's noise. That's the frequency of distraction. And distraction doesn't scale. It burns your energy, it clouds your judgment, and it keeps you stuck in a loop of learning instead of executing. What you actually need is calm, a lower, steadier frequency that lets you process information clearly, make rational decisions, and stay on track long enough for things to compound. Because the growth doesn't come from chaos. It comes from rhythm, from steady, repeatable actions that stacks day after day. So how do you actually control your frequency? It's not about drowning yourself in more inputs. It's about deliberately regulating your state so you can operate from calm instead of chaos. Here's what I mean. You go to the gym, you want to move your body. When your body is active, your mind is clear. You stop overthinking and you start processing. Walk or hit the trails. When you're walking, especially outdoors, your brain just slows down. You disconnect from the noise and reconnect with silence. And silence is where the best ideas show up. Sit still and breathe. Most people think meditation is optional. It's not. It's a reset button. Just 5 minutes of focused breathing can shift you to clarity. Touch nature, sunlight, fresh air, trees, water. They recalibrate you instantly. It's hard to feel chaotic when your nervous system is grounded. Now, the point is this. When you regulate your frequency, you stop letting your environment control you. You create the space to think clearly, act intentionally, and stick to the plan. And that's what really matters because at the end of the day, consistency will always beat motivation. Motivation fades. Consistency compounds. Every great business you see is built on that. Consistent actions stacked over time. And the only way to stay consistent is keeping your frequency calm and steady. Most people set $10,000 per month as their target because it feels realistic. But here's the problem. The moment you call something realistic, you lower your own ceiling. When $10,000 is the goal, your brain quietly eases off the gas. You play in easy mode instead of going all in. You watch just one more video because there's no real urgency. You default to tiny, safe moves because the goal doesn't require more. The result, you're only operating at 30 to 50% of your actual capacity. And then you wonder why you plateau. Now flip it. Set your target at $50,000 per month. Immediately, your nervous system screams that's unrealistic. And that's the point because aiming for what feels borderline delusional forces you into full power. You can't half step your way to 50,000. You have to bring in 100% clarity, intensity, repetition, focus. You stop asking, what's the easiest way? And you start asking, what will actually get me there? And here's the truth. Growth isn't about hacks, tools, or chasing 100 problems at once. It's about frequency. The frequency of the actions you take. The frequency of the conversations you create. The frequency of showing up even when it feels boring. Most people fail not because they lack potential, but because their frequency is chaos. They binge watch videos, chase shiny tools, compare themselves to others, and never find their rhythm. The ones who win, they stay calm, consistent, and focused. They operate at a steady rhythm that compounds over time. Scaling isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things consistently enough that growth becomes inevitable. When you aim higher, everything changes. You cut out the clutter and stick to one offer you can sell and deliver repeatedly. You create scripts and flows that generate conversations every day, not just when you feel like it. You harden your booking and show process with reminders, touch points, and clear scheduling. You sharpen your close with outcomes, proof, and de-risking. You lock delivery into repeatable systems to every new client, so every new client is plug and play, not from scratch. And remember, when you set realistic goals, you'll keep proving yourself and everyone else right. But when you set goals that feel borderline delusional, that's when you finally tap into everything you've got. And here's the final piece: focus. Most people don't fail because they lack ideas. They fail because they drown in too many of them. One week it's a new offer, the next week it's a different tool, then a new service, a new funnel, a new shiny hack. They're constantly starting, constantly switching, constantly distracted. But business doesn't scale on chaos, it scales on clarity. One clear offer, one clear system, one clear path to deliver value. That's it. You don't need 10 different hustles. You don't need to keep chasing the next big thing. You need one thing that works, repeated, refined, and scaled. Think about it. Every time you split your focus, you cut your results in half. But when you channel all your energy into one direction, everything just compounds. And here's where frequency comes in again. When your mind is calm and your state is regulated, you actually have the discipline to stay the course. That's when focus becomes easy. That's when you stop spinning your wheels and finally move with momentum. At the end of the day, the business that wins isn't the one doing the most. It's the one doing the right thing consistently enough to scale beyond the noise. So here's the truth. If you keep operating at the frequency of distraction, chasing every single guru video, duct taping tools, switching offers every other week, you'll stay stuck, busy, not moving. But if you slow down, you regulate your state and operate from clarity, everything just changes. You go to the gym, you clear your head, walk, breathe, reconnect with silence, break past the artificial ceiling. You stop calling $10,000 realistic and start demanding more for yourself. And you focus on one offer, one system, one path, and you scale it with consistency. Business isn't about how much you consume. It's about how well you can actually execute. And you can only execute when your mind is clear and your frequency is right. And here's something most people don't want to hear. You can study strategies, watch tutorials, and read books all day, but eventually you've got to get in the arena. You're going to stumble. You're going to get hit, and that's going to hurt. But that's where the real growth comes from. You learn, you adapt, and most importantly, you prove yourself that you can survive and keep moving forward. That's the shift that separates entrepreneurs who burn out at $5,000 to $10,000 from the ones who hit $50,000 plus months and build businesses that actually work for them. So if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels, if you're ready to stop being busy without moving forward, join our free Skool community and schedule a call with our team. We'll walk you through your next 90 days, show you exactly what to focus on, and give you a roadmap so you can stop chasing noise and start scaling with intention. The only question is, are you going to keep operating at the frequency of distraction, or are you ready to shift into the frequency of growth?